Behold the simple banana and take note of its shape. This is one of the most enduring and hardest to dispel Euro myths out there, namely that Brussels tried to ban the sale of bananas suffering from an abnormal curvature. There is indeed a regulation on the size and shape of bananas, but it's about how they're classed for consumers, not a ban, and traders reportedly asked for it. So fast and furious were the Euromyths of the 1990s and 2000s that the European Commission created a rapid rebuttal service for Euromyths like these: an EU-imposed one-size-fits-all condom, a ban on double-decker buses, and how much cleavage a barmaid can show. Many are still being circulated today by people who should know better. Here's the former London Mayor, Boris Johnson, out on the Leave campaign trail.
You cannot sell bananas with abnormal curvature of the fingers. Why should they tell us? Why should they tell us how powerful our vacuum cleaners should be?
There is a regulation limiting the power of a vacuum cleaner and other household appliances, but in the service of energy efficiency, says the Commission. The Sun newspaper here recently published an article saying about 15% of Brits believe the Euromyths out there. It neglects to mention, of course, that the paper itself reported them to begin with, or should we say misreported them.
The straight banana is, if it's such a thing as possible, is a red herring. The essence of this debate and this referendum is about democracy, the democratic deficit.
Former Conservative Cabinet Minister Kenneth Clarke doesn't think so. He says the misrepresentation of the power of Brussels is a Euromyth in and of itself.
The Leave people lead to believe this is a sort of grey, unknown collection of apparatchiks pouring laws out which are imposed upon us.
At Full Fact, an independent charity, a team of fact-checkers is devoted to little else but the referendum campaign.
And I think there is a question hanging for the media about how far have they enabled this campaign to be founded on information that can't be trusted.
So who do you believe? Academic Tim Bale says one problem is that so many in the Remain camp have changed their spots.
The Conservatives who are leading that campaign have themselves spent, 20 years actually peddling some of those myths themselves. So it's very, very difficult for them to execute this sort of handbrake turn and suddenly tell people that they're not true.
Confused? Well, at least you can count on one thing. A banana, by any other name, still tastes as sweet. Margaret Evans, CBC News, London.